Alright y'all, the day has finally come. Putting my interior back in my car. The rear seats in the trunk. Got the trunk stuff underneath here. And let's be real, the car does not have to be gutted to be fast, let's be honest for a minute. And quite frankly, I'm making a road trip this week and we're going on to Iowa to the IMU Stang Invasion. It's the largest Midwest Mustang only event. I'm excited to go there. I'm excited to see some of the freaking cars. And then also on top of that, I got a homie, Kylon, coming from Chicago, and then also another homie that lives in Iowa. His name is Jordan. He has a single turbo Coyote as well. Kylon is a Paxton S187. This is what we're looking like right now in the trunk. I literally got some jumper cables, some stuff for filling up on 85 with my jugs. But yeah, just no liner in here. Still got like the sidings and stuff on, just not the floor liner. Got my big helper of the day. Y'all have not met my other helper, Toby. Right, buddy, right. He's like the happiest little dog ever. And then in the rear here, this is what we're looking like. Like I said, it's not really gutted. The seats are literally just out. So, and I kind of wanted it that way in case I had any issues with my fuel pump and whatnot. It was easy to access, like all the wiring and whatnot, but it's time to cover it up. This thing does not need to be gutted to be fast, like I said. So let's get to it. All right, y'all. Okay, guys, so we got the bottom in here. This literally just like pushes on and it has like clips that go into place. Pull your little seatbelt things up. Then there's also a bracket here that has a couple of bolts, and then it has like a couple of dowel pins that come out, and that's what supports the backs of the seats, and they also clip into there and here. We are officially a full interior car. Hell yeah. Alright, y'all. We're getting the two-step under this bridge. I don't think y'all are ready. Y'all ain't heard it yet. Woo! Alright, y'all, what is going on? Parked up this little parking ramp right now. Posted up here. Don't mind the parking. There's freaking nobody here. The car is actually really dirty right now. I'm not even gonna really show that. It's covered in bugs, a hella brake dust, but I'm gonna wait to wash it until I get home. But I'm here for a reason. I brought y'all here to talk about something that I didn't really know how to talk about. I wasn't gonna mention it in the last video. The last video was literally dedicated to racing, as it should have been, and to the meet. A few of you probably already know where I'm going with this. Actually, you're gonna know from the thumbnail and title. From the title alone, you guys are gonna know. But when we were out racing, I blew up my transmission. And some of you guys are probably gonna ask, well, how the hell are you here, right? How am I driving the car? Well, the whole trans is not shot. It's just third gear. My third gear let go, and honestly, I don't know how my transmission lives so freaking long. Like, this car has gone through so many different stages. Like, I was full bolts on, E85, and beat the ever-living crap out of this car, and it lived. And we boosted it. You know, that's phase 2, really. We boosted it. We were with a centrifugal blower, a Paxton setup. I'm sure you guys remember that. My dud setup, I like to call it. I was making north of 650 wheel, close to 700 wheel on that setup, and beat on it for a whole year, and it lived. Only my engine let go. I shouldn't say only, but yeah, my engine let go finally. Then I built this motor. We sold the Sentry setup. We went turbo, which I wish I would have done from the get-go. And then last weekend we were out running. You know, the car made its street debut, as I would say. And she held her own. It was solid all night. I ran a bunch of Gen 3 A10 boosted cars on 85. She was solid. I ran a couple of BMWs. The last BMW I ran, he wanted a 60 and I wanted my 40. I got my 40, I was spinning. I was like, whatever, it's not worth it, get out of it. And then we started doing 60 rolls. Well, we did a 60 roll and it was good until it wasn't. We did a 60 roll, and the first one, I don't know, it wasn't like perfectly in sync. I think we weren't quite going 60. Maybe I left before he did, I'm not sure. And then we wanted to redo it. The second one was like dead even. It was super close. And then he's like, let's rerun it. I was like, all right, like, I'm down. Now keep in mind, when I'm doing a 60 roll, man, the sun is bright. Keep in mind, when I'm doing a 60 roll, I'm leaving in third gear. So that's 3 back-to-back third gear rips, you know? And then finally, on my third and final third gear 60 roll with that BMW, you know, I'm in third gear. I'm like, what? I'm going wide open throttle in third gear, get like 75 RPM, and I go to shift. And then, oh my God, I go to shift and it just grenades right there. I'll post a clip right now. But yeah, as you guys saw, it literally just grenaded. I panicked. I thought my motor blew. I was in complete distress. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, man. And I wouldn't have been surprised because it's the first motor I've ever built. I think Seth stopped recording. Yeah, he did stop recording. As soon as it happened, I turned the car off and we're coasting, and I pulled over, and the whole time we're coasting, you can hear what was my third gear just getting banged around and clunked around. And in my head, I thought I had either windowed my block or my pan, and there's just stuff dripping out of the motor, you know, rods, whatever. I thought it was bad. I pull over, I get out, I got my flashlight, because keep in mind, it's like 3 in the freaking morning. I got my flashlight out, I'm looking at the car, I don't see anything. I'm like, what the heck? I look at my drive shaft, that was intact. I look back at the rear end, that was intact. And then it hit me, I was like, I bet it was the trans. I get in, I start the car, it started right up. So the engine was fine, obviously. And then yeah, first gear was fine, second gear was fine, and I had no third. Third gear is now my second neutral. But yeah, that's really what happened. And truth be told, if I didn't do those back-to-back 60 rolls in third gear, I don't think you can convince me that this trans wouldn't still be here. I honestly think it would have lived, because if you guys remember, when we boosted the car and my stock clutch started slipping, we dropped the trans and we put in a McLeod RXT clutch. Well, my bell housing had LKQ tags on it, which means it's a reman trans. It's already been gone through. And keep in mind, I bought the car at 30,000 miles. It had an intake manifold and headers only. That was it. So that means someone wrecked it at like 400 wheel. And yeah, and that's not uncommon. These transmissions are made from freaking literal glass. Like, they're weak. I have a guy in Miami, his name's Gabe. He blew his up NA. Kylon had issues with his NA. I think he's been through this process like 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, Kylon. But yeah, I'm not upset at all. Believe it or not, this is gonna be covered under warranty. I'm almost certain. I'm dropping the car off on Monday at a shop. I kind of know that they're gonna go through it. They've already submitted a claim to warranty, and now warranty actually responded, and they want them to open the trans up and diagnose it a little bit further, even though they confirmed that third gear's gone. I don't know what more they want to see. If they want to see if the gear's broken, the synchro, or the shift fork, I don't freaking know what they're looking for, but that's what's next. So I would drop the car off now, but I don't think they're ready for it. And ultimately, I need to go to Iowa this weekend. For those of you guys who do not know, I'm going down to Iowa. It is the largest Midwest Mustang only event. It's called IMU Stang Invasion. It's in Iowa. Like I said, Kylon's gonna be pulling up. Jordan's gonna be there, the homie. He's got literally the same setup except a Gen 1 motor. He's literally got a teardrop too, just like that. It's dope. But I'm excited to link up with him and meet a bunch of other people down there as well and just have a bomb-ass time. I'm excited. Yo, I felt like I felt like I owed that to you guys. I needed to let you guys know because I didn't want to go on my trip and then come back from the trip and drop the car off and everyone be like, oh, you blew up in Iowa. No, this happened on Saturday night, last weekend when I was racing. It happened at like 3 in the morning. I'm 100 miles from home. The car's still perfectly drivable. When you're cruising, sometimes you just hear the gear getting kinked around in there, but it's all good. I mean, it works fine. Orby, he blew his up at Texas 2K, and he drove like 1,600 miles back home to Maryland from Houston. Like, that man's wild with no third gear. So I feel completely fine with what I'm doing. We're literally going like an 800-mile round trip, so it's not that bad. Like I said, I feel like I owed that to you guys. I definitely wanted to sit down and make a video on it. And another thing too, I want to discuss, what are my plans? What am I gonna do with it? So if this was not covered under warranty, what I would be doing is probably doing a T56 trans, if I'm being honest. I really, really need to do a T56. But if warranty's gonna cover it, why don't I just go through a few more MT82s? Once they stop warranting it, eventually, I'm just gonna go T56. But you're throwing away a decent chunk of change on a T56, and I know they're proven. I know it's gonna last. I have no issues or worries with that, but it's like, I just finished this setup. I just bought my drive shaft. That's like $800-900, and now that's not gonna be reusable with my new trans. And I don't know, at the end of the day, my MT82 lasted 3 freaking years. It lasted 6 months on this setup, and realistically, I can't ask for much more. So if my next one lasts me for the rest of the summer into next year, or even just through the summer, I'm happy with that. Get another one in, go through the process again, and go from there. If they end up stop warranting it, or they have like questions, or they question it or whatever, then I'm probably just have to go to T56, let's be honest. However, I did tell Sam at one point like 4 or 5 MT82s before I went T56. But if you think about it, 2 or 3 MT82s realistically pays for a T56 swap. So literally tomorrow, we're going down to Iowa. We're leaving like 6 in the morning. Seth is cruising with us. I owe you guys like a 60,000 mile review. I've got a bunch of other videos planned out. I just need some more time. There's plenty of content coming, guys. I really want to pursue YouTube. This is what I really want to do. And if I can get paid from it, man, that's the ultimate goal. So I'm going to keep sticking with it, keep pumping out content. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't go anywhere, that's fine too. I'm far too invested in this to not at least document it, you know? If it does go somewhere and I start getting paid from it, then it's like a win-win. I can't lose, you know? So enough talking. Let's get a little bit of exhaust noise cruising out of here. Y'all hear the rattle? Oh my God. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it just doesn't shut up. vlogging the entire weekend, the entire meet. Maybe I'll even ride with someone, get some runs in, get some night action going. We'll see. I'm excited. Y'all stay tuned. If I ever let y'all down, come on.